Right now I'd like to teach you a little bit about music and music theory and how it relates to your instrument and how important it is to know at least a certain level of music theory in order to be able to progress and get better at your instrument. Hopefully that's your goal, that's what you want to do. With the bass guitar, there's all different kinds of basses, 4 strings, 5 strings, 6 strings. Today we're going to work with just a 4-string. It's important to know the names of these strings as well as the names of all these notes. A lot of people get intimidated because you see 4 strings and 24 frets. That's a lot of notes, but believe me, it's really easy. It's an elementary pattern that once you get it, in 10 minutes you can know every note on this neck, okay, and how to find any note. And here we go. Starting off with knowing the names of your strings. The lowest, thickest, biggest string closest to you is an E. Next is A. Next would be D. And next would be G. Very important that you learn the names of those strings and where they are. That's going to help you in tuning and also help you in playing. It's a must know if you're going to play. The next thing we're going to learn is the names of every single note on the fretboard. Very easy, very quick. 2 principles you got to remember. One is the alphabet, A through G. Okay, surely you know that. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then it starts over again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The second principle is, and what we're going to work on right now, is sharps. We're not going to work with flats. That'll come later on in another lesson. Right now we're just going to work with sharps. And what I mean by that is when you hit a note, and this is, take a C note, okay? If I move up a half step, that makes it sharp, and a half step is moving just 1 fret. To move a whole step, I would move 2 frets. And after C in the alphabet comes D. So if I move 2 frets, that's a D note. Okay? In between would be C sharp. So it would go C, C sharp, D. I'm going to start with the string open. I'm going to walk it up for you. You'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. If I hit this string open, this is E. Okay? There's no such thing as E sharp or B sharp. That is the only 2 that do not have sharps. Stick with me, follow me on this. At the end of this, I promise you, you'll see how easy it is. So if I go from E, next in the alphabet would be F, which is the 1st fret of that string. Okay? The next fret, F does have a sharp, so to go F to F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B. Now we already determined there's no such thing as B sharp, so right after B comes C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. Once you get to the 12th fret, the name of the note that you come up with should also be the name of that string, okay? Because the concept behind all of it is at the 12th fret, everything basically starts over that you did down here. It's just in a higher octave. So hitting the 12th fret on the E string is simply a higher octave of playing that same string open. And when I say octave, there's a lot of terms and stuff. In another lesson, we're going to cover all that. I expect you to know nothing of anything to do with any sort of musical term, and we're going to teach you every bit of that. But when I say a higher octave, this means a higher E. Here's E, and here's the higher E on the 12th fret. Okay, we could go down to the next string. We can walk you through it the same way. The name of that string is A, so if I hit that string open, it is A. The 1st fret would be A sharp. The 2nd fret would be B. There's no such thing as B sharp, so the next one would be C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. No such thing as E sharp, so it would be F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. We're back at the 12th fret. We said it was an A note. We're right. That is also the name of our string. Okay. Now you may not be able to memorize these right away, but But if you can say the alphabet and you can remember there's no sharps for E and B, then you should be able to find any note on your neck by being able to count it up. I'll give you an example. I'm going to pick a note at random. Let's say right here. Okay, I want to know what that note is. First I'm going to identify that string. This is my D string, my third string down. Okay, and the fret I'm on, I'm going to count the fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm on the 8th fret of the D string. Let's figure that note out. So I'll start with hitting the string open. D, first fret, D sharp, second fret, E, no E sharp, so we go straight to F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp. We're at the 8th fret of the D string. That was the note we wanted. We were able to figure out it was an A sharp. Okay? Pretty simple concept if you can remember the rules. Everything gets a sharp in between it except for E and B. You gotta know the names of the strings. Start counting them by playing it open on the first fret and go up. Okay? And remember that the alphabet is continuous after G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If you practice this stuff, and this principle will also work on a guitar, you can literally teach yourself every single note on the fretboard. It's going to be a must if you're going to play bass for any style of music, because within any style you're going to be walking scales. In order to learn scales, in order to learn licks, maybe to play with other musicians, maybe they're a little more profound than you are, or a little bit more developed. Someone might come to you and say, hey, can you play with me? Find a G. Maybe you don't know where G is, but maybe you know this concept, and you could walk up and you could find G. And it really is a helpful tool. As time goes by and the more you play, the more this concept will come to you, and it'll eventually become part of your memory. I would suggest, as you are counting these off, say them out loud. Maybe if you're practicing by yourself and you're doing some little say the notes out loud, say them to yourself, and always remember where your hand is. And through time and through all these lessons, I'm going to teach you how everything is actually, it's a mental pattern and a physical pattern. But first, let's start with names of the strings, learning the names of the notes. Okay?